Emmanuel Macron has dramatically conceded that there have been days when the EU went faster in response to an astounding request from US President Donald Trump for France to leave Europe. The French president appeared to tacitly admit that the European project was on shaky ground in an interview on Swiss news site RTS. Speaking with host Darius Rochebin, Mr. Macron frowned when Mr. Trump's comment was brought up. Mr. Rochebin said, "The Washington Post reported that Donald Trump asked you, why don't you leave Europe? It seems incredible. In a moment like this, is it a provocation or does he really believe it?" The French president fumbled. "I do not know. It is up to him to answer that question. What I do know is that Europe is a space for multilateralism. There is not a place in the world where." But his host pressed, "But when he told you that, when he tells you something so big, what do you think considering?" Mr. Macron paused before answering with only perfunctory confidence. And I told him no, because Europe, well, it's true. There are days when it goes faster. It varies. But we are together. We're 28 today, maybe 27 tomorrow. Mr. Macron has downplayed the death of an oak tree he had offered US President Donald Trump last year on Tuesday, saying people shouldn't read symbols into everything and that he would send the American leader a new tree. The two men celebrated the special relationship between the United States and France during Macron's state visit in April 2018 to Washington by planting the oak sapling on the grounds of the White House. It was put in quarantine because of fears parasites on the tree could spread to others on the White House property. US officials this weekend said it had died, prompting a flurry of social media posts comparing its death to the difficult relationship the two leaders have had since that visit. Macron is at odds over the Americans' unilateralist approach to trade, climate change and a nuclear deal with Iran. "We will send him another. It is not a tragedy," Macron told Switzerland's RTS network on the sidelines of an International Labour Organization meeting in Geneva. "Do not see symbols where there are none. The symbol was to plant it together." The tree, from Belleau Wood in France where almost 2,000 American soldiers died in a World War I battle, had been dug up not long after it was planted. It turns out that this oak was put in quarantine for American sanitary reasons and the poor thing did not survive, Macron said. "I'll send another oak because I think the US Marines and the friendship for freedom between our peoples are well worth it." President Donald Trump did not confirm he would attend August's summit of the G7 group of rich nations in southwestern France city of Biarritz when he met President Emmanuel Macron last Thursday, a French official said. A G7 foreign ministers meeting held in Brittany earlier this year was overshadowed when US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo chose not to attend, underscoring how tough agreeing common ground between allies has become at the annual Big Power Summit. Along with the United States, France and Britain, the group includes Japan, Germany, Italy, Canada and the European Union. Tensions between the United States and its European allies have meant that where they were once largely in accord, they now seek the lowest common denominator at international gatherings. Trump briefly set aside his testy relationship with Macron on Thursday, heaping praise on US war veterans in a speech to mark the 75th D-Day anniversary and steering clear of issues that might rile Europe. Macron and Trump have had a difficult relationship, at odds over the Americans' unilateralist approach to trade, climate change and a nuclear deal with Iran. On Thursday, Trump spoke of an outstanding relationship, while Macron described their bond as extremely strong. However, when asked whether Trump had committed to attending this year's G7 summit, a French official debriefing reporters after the meeting said that was still unclear. "You'd have to ask him, Trump, the question. It's important for us that he is in Biarritz and we are hopeful he'll be there," the official said. In 2018, Trump threw the efforts of other leaders to show a united front into disarray by leaving early, backing out of a joint communique and criticizing his Canadian host.